In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys tips for how to succeed in law school. And you're going to want to stay to the very end because I'm going to give you guys the 5-step plan for success in law school. At the end of this video, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing is that this is not my original IP. Yes, we're doing a little bit of borrowing from Dean Evans here at OU Law. He's the one who actually gave me this idea. I'm just presenting it to you guys. And so we're going to claim intellectual property fair use. But shout out to Dean Evans. He's one of my mentors, and I couldn't have gotten through law school without you. So thank you very much for everything that you've done for me. I want to get into a weekly study plan, right? Because you're not going to be able to succeed unless you have a weekly study plan. Law school is extremely packed with classes and different events. And so doing something like this is extremely useful, right? And I actually have, hold on one sec. I have a planner by Papier, and maybe I'll have a link in the description or something like that where you guys can get links to the same thing that I use. But in the beginning parts of the book, it has a schedule that looks almost just like this, right? You can see you have each day at the top, in the times on the left-hand column there. And if this is a little bit blurry or you can't see it very well, just stop the video, take a screenshot. You could zoom in and you'll be able to see everything very clear. Okay, so like I said, law school is very busy, and it's important that in order to keep your sanity, that you maintain your mental health, that you take time to exercise, that you take time for family and friends and your loved ones and everything like that. But if you can't deal with a schedule like this, law school is probably not for you. And I'm here to tell you, it wasn't until I implemented a schedule and I stuck to the routine that I started getting the results in law school that I wanted. And so I kind of want to just walk you guys through what this study plan is, right? So on Sunday, you're going to, wake up, go to church, spend time with your family all the way until 5 p.m. And then you're going to study for Civ Pro. You can see the numbers underneath each of the subjects, right? That's the number of hours that you need to be studying in that session. That's 5 hours. Now, when you study, you need to put your phone away. It needs to be you and the material, nothing else. No distractions, no Facebook, no Instagram, just you and the study material. That's vitally important. You're going to wake up on Monday. You're going to do a little bit of prep. So we have things color coordinated for you. Blue is study time, red is class time, and green is personal time, right? So you're going to wake up, do a little bit of prep. Then you're going to have Civ Pro from 9 to 10. Then you're going to have writing and research, or research and writing class from 10 to 11. And then you're going to have torts from 11 to 12. Then you're going to get a break, right? Then after that break, you're going to need to go back to the library to study. And you're going to have 5 hours of, let's say, reading and writing class. This is kind of like a very typical 1L schedule, right? You take these mandatory classes. It's a little bit different, but it's like Civ Pro, Crim Pro. I'm not going to get into all of them. But there's usually like a reading and writing type of class as well. And you need to be doing, I think they say for every hour you're in class, at least 1 hour of study time, right? I think it might be 1.5 times of study time. But then, you're going to have dinner from 5 to 8, a little bit of time to exercise from 8 to 9, and then maybe from 9 to 10, you have a date night planned, right? Because this is a super busy Monday. You want to reward yourself. And here's some hints, right? I'm not going to go through the rest of the schedule because you guys can kind of see. I think I've done enough to explain what it's like for you to extrapolate on the rest of the days of the week. But a couple of things we want to talk about. Make comfortable time for yourself. If your schedule's not working, adjust. It's okay to be flexible. Don't let this schedule be a prison. Just adjust your schedule if it's not working. If you feel like you're too stressed out, you're doing too much of studying or not enough spending time with your family, it's okay to adjust the schedule. But you need to program in free time, family time, and date time before study time. This was a tip that I was given by Dean Evans, and the reason it works is that you kind of want to see how much time do I have to give to these people, and also when am I going to schedule in my rewards, right? Because look, it's a sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. The sacrifice is your family doesn't get to see you 6 days a week. They only get to see you on Sunday, but you give them a good amount of time. You give them 6 hours, 7 hours. So you're really there and you're present because you've been doing your studying throughout the week. You've been, doing 6 hours of torts on Saturday, right? You will have to study on the weekends, guys. Law school is not one of those things you can get by without doing some work on the weekends. You're gonna have to study on the weekends, but you follow it up with some football or some free time, right? Maybe a nice date night on Friday night after you've been studying contracts for 4 hours, right? You want to be able to reward yourself. TV and telephone time. Do not take calls during study time. You want to schedule in TV time. If that's something you need to do, like watch football on Saturdays, schedule it in, right? And no phones while you study. Also, use the library. You need to have a designated study area. Your home office, you're getting distracted, guys. It's not working. Go to the library to study. I promise you it'll change things for you. And as I promised, this is the plan for success. It's a very simple plan, only 5 steps that you need to follow. And I will do a follow-up video to this, a video that I'll call Hacking Law School, right? This won't be the super success plan. This will be more of a video for those who are, just trying to get the JD. They don't need a great GPA. They just want to succeed. And I'll have a video where I teach you how to kind of hack law school, if you will. So look out for that. Maybe I'll have a pop-up if I've already done that video eventually. It will come, so plan for success. The first thing you need to do is talk to professors. Guys, I did not do this my 1L year. It changed my entire academic trajectory once I started doing this. You need to talk to your professors about every 2 weeks. You don't need to blow them up. You don't need to be super annoying. Professors don't like it if you're going in there and you have nothing to say, right? That's why I say about every 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, you go visit with him, you get to know him or her, and you ask them questions that you may have from having studied. We'll get into how do you study here in a bit. And you also go to the professor anytime you're confused. If you are engaging with some material, you do not understand it, you go to the professor, you figure it out. You don't let those things add up, because law school is cumulative. What you learn throughout the semester is often cumulative. Study plan, right? You need to study in advance. Weekly study plan, we just went over that. You set time each week for each course. You review what you studied 10 minutes before class, because you will forget. You've studied, contracts on Thursday, and then you have that class on Friday at noon. You're going to forget what you read, so you need to give yourself 10 minutes to review what you read before class. You also want to do 10 minutes of review after class. This is a time where you can start working on those outlines, and we'll talk about outlining here in a bit. Outlining is a big part of law school. But make sure that you're reviewing after class. And you don't start outlining quite yet, right? You don't start outlining, and here we go. Number 3 is outline. First of all, make your own outlines, guys. You're going to learn the material much better if you make your own outlines, I promise you. On top of it, some professors don't allow you to borrow or lift from other people's outlines. So make sure you understand your professor and what they expect of you. But do your own outlines, right? This is going to help you retain the information. Start no sooner than week 4. This gives you enough time to kind of get an understanding of what the course is about, right? If you start outlining right away, one, you're not going to understand what you're looking for. You're not going to understand what the professor might be emphasizing. And hopefully during week 2, this is something that you can go when you have that first meeting with your professor. Just be like, hey, professor, I kind of wanted to get a sense of, I know every professor is different and they grade different. They're looking for different things, but I kind of want to get a sense of, do you do more focus on black letter law? Do you focus more on the... Okay, sorry about that. The camera died. So I believe what I was saying is you don't want to be the person who's going to your professor every, week bothering him. You just want to make sure that you're going every 2 weeks. So you start your outline not until week 4, and you only do one subject per week. So starting week 4, you start outlining contracts, all for 1 week, con law, all the next week, torts, all the following week. And then you just start repeating that, right? Then, you go back to con law, you go back to whatever I said, Civ Pro. You just go back, but you focus on one outline for each week. And the reason for this is that it's going to help you learn and study. You'll be learning and studying as you outline, right? And so remember, an outline is not a book. It's a memory reminder. So you should be learning as you're making this thing. You should be spending time with it. You should be reviewing it. You should have seen this outline and been outlining from week 4 all the way until finals week or dead week, whatever it is. For us, that's week 12 when classes end. And then you move into step number 4, which is finals prep. In step 4, you're reviewing this outline. And then what you're also doing, and this is a key to success in law school, that if you do this, I promise you, your 1L year, your classmates are not doing this. What you do is you take practice tests under timed conditions. You do practice essays. There's plenty available on Quimby, on what other websites are there? Westlaw Academic. I can't think of some of the others right now, but you can just Google Barbary, right? Barbary has practice essay questions with answers. So you should just be finding practice problems, even out of the examples and explanations, textbooks. I know a lot of people like to use those. And I'll have some links in the description. You guys can check those out. It would really help this channel. I don't do any like ads or anything like that. So I kind of have people use those links and it really helps me. All right, but moving on to the final step, which is exam. And what you're worried about here is you're worried about time management. And you're also concerned about what is the professor looking for. But hopefully you've been meeting with your professor. Hopefully you've been discussing things that are confusing with him. You've gotten a sense of who he is or who she is, what they're looking for. Some professors will really like analysis. Some professors are going to give you exams that are almost like a bar exam. Some professors are going to do short essays. Some are going to do really long fact-finding essays, right? You need to understand, I had one professor who would give a word limit. He did not want a long answer. I had another professor who, she wanted you to write as much as you possibly could, just word vomit onto the page, right? So professors have different things they're looking for. And as you're meeting with your professor, I suggest you adjust your study style to the professor. If you have a professor who is, let's say it's an evidence exam, right? You know that there's rules of evidence. So you should be using flashcards to study versus con law, which is very historical and there's a lot of cases. So outlining will be better for a class like that. And so just get a sense of what the professor's looking for and what's going to be on the exam. Hopefully this was all helpful. If you guys liked this video, I'd really appreciate if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And also drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Any tips that you have for people out there, please put them in the comments. And also any video ideas that you would like to see for this playlist, please let me know. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. See you in the next video. Peace.